everybody, absolutely butt fucking crazy storm happening outside. We're gonna see if we can make a little sandwich before the power goes out. And there's our car. Let's take a look at this storm. Classic flooding down there. Classic flooding. Take a look at the picture that Steve just sent me. Fucking lightning bolt. Pretty good picture, dude. This is impossible to do with one hand. We're in the final stretch. Maybe chop it in half. Race against time. Oh, we did it. Take the first bite to signify that it's a sandwich. Have a good time. We shocked the world. Whoa! 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 Okay. This time. We're having kind of a wacky time. I wanted to share with you some real things that I've heard people say this week. There was a woman at brunch. I was at brunch. I've had a couple DMs recently that are like, if I come to LA on vacation, where can I see you? And those are very nice. Just go have breakfast and I will most likely be there. I'm wherever breakfast is at. Whenever somebody puts syrup on something, an angel gets his wings, and I get my keys, and I try to meet up. There was a woman at brunch talking to her babysitter on speakerphone. As I get older, I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, unless they're on their speakerphone in public, and that place is crowded, and then they're out. My annoyance level with this woman is already tip-top. Brunch woman says, "How's my baby?" Babysitter says, "Sleepy." And then the brunch woman goes, "Well, you wore him out at Disneyland, didn't you?" And I told you that was a bad idea. And then the babysitter is like, "Well," and then the brunch woman is like, "He's too young. I told you that. He's too young for Disneyland." And then her friend is like kind of giving her a tug on her shirt sleeve and being like, "You can't. You're being too much in public right now." And then brunch woman goes, "Okay, Farah is telling me to stop. So this is over." And hung up with her babysitter. And then she exploded a soft-boiled egg onto herself and onto her shirt and said, "That's so me. And even if you don't have a dirty, filthy mind, that's funny. So me to explode goop all over my chest." Okay, and then later on, she was talking to one of her friends and she goes, "How I did triple jumps on the ice is beyond me." Now, what is funny about this is that my tolerance for outlandish, ridiculous conversation is so much higher for people that I'm into and interested in, and so much lower for people who I'm already annoyed by. If somebody who I had any kind of patience with at all said this, I would want to hear about that for the rest of the night. So impressive to do triple jumps on the ice. But I didn't want to hear her talk anymore, so it instantly became one of the more annoying things I've ever heard a person say. Yelling at the babysitter about taking her kid to Disneyland, being drunk at brunch, being on her cell phone, exploding the egg all over herself. I used to do triple jumps on the ice. That's so me. You're having a real you-heavy morning. There was another woman I walked by, walking her dog outside her apartment building. That's only a couple doors down from mine. And her door was open and you could hear her birds screaming from inside. And the woman did a very interesting thing. She turned around to acknowledge the bird and goes like, "I know." Like it was a kid calling her like, Mom, I can't find my something." What do kids lose? Something a kid would lose. Mom turns around and goes, "I know." And then saw me walking at her. And dude, no judgment. You're taking care of your dog and you're into your bird. And I'm fine with that. But she looked at me and then she looked back inside of the bird and then she kind of did this like introspective look as if to say like, I gotta get some other friends. I went to go see a concert at the Roxy and then the girl in front of me goes, "Is driving and smoking weed still illegal? I can't wait until they do away with that." So if you're a cop, maybe go find this girl. That's pretty much all I got. I had some thoughts on nepo babies if you're interested. So nepo babies are like people, especially in the entertainment industry, who get jobs just because their parents are whoever. And I get why people who moved all the way across the country with nothing and no head start are like, "F those people." But I also think that they're good parents. I think most parents would be nepo parents because your parents are the first people who are like, "F***ing get a job." They're also the only people you know with jobs. And then you're like, okay, how am I supposed to do that? And then they're like, well, come to work, I'll introduce you around. No matter what. Like my dad worked maintenance. One summer when I was on probation from school, from getting kicked out of school, I had to do all this community service because I had a stripper in my room at the end of freshman year. And that's actually a long story, but we'll save it. And he got me a job with the grounds crew. Now, job with the grounds crew and rich person job being like an actor or something, I understand the discrepancy there. I wasn't like repainting fire hydrants and straightening street signs and be like, you know who my father is? Because no one gave a shit and it would have embarrassed them. But I get why people who moved across the country are upset that a rich kid is being handed a job from a rich person. I get that 100%, but also no one asked you to move across the country with nothing. And if it was your parent, you'd probably do the same thing. My mom was a financial analyst and my dad was a maintenance guy, so I have no pull in Hollywood. But I'm not upset with the nepo babies. I'm like, why wouldn't you try to do that? Also, I'm not trying to go for a lot of the jobs that the nepo babies have, so f me. Just a thought in a notebook, and now it's closed and it's over. I'm coming to Houston at the end of the month with Andrew Santino. I'm gonna be in Austin in April, coming to the East Coast and doing stand-up in Connecticut and New York, like at the end of April, last week of April. So come out, it's gonna be a good time.